Welcome back, everyone. It's no secret that pretty much everything over time, slows down. It's not as good as it used to be, but I will tell you, there's been one little thing of Apple specifically slowing down some iPhones back in the day, which was a humongous controversial thing when it first came out. But even now, it still feels like year after year, once the next iPhone comes out, our current iPhone magically gets slower, it seems to be not as stable, and overall there's some really good reasoning why this happens. Now, back in the day, I always make people think about this. When the iPhone 5 came out, right, in 2013, right, it was the best phone at the time, whatever. Actually, 2012 when the iPhone 5 came out, that was a crazy good phone. That phone, you could download any app on the App Store. I remember doing this, and you could easily play any game, the high intensive game or whatever, and it was perfectly fine. Now you try doing that and it just doesn't do well. Most of the time, you can't even download the most up-to-date version of the game on that specific phone. Now, why is that the case? Well, mostly these developers at that time were essentially, tuning their games for the iPhones of that time, and the iPhone 5 was the fastest phone of that time. So they had to tune those games because of that. And because of that, they had to go and limit the features, limit the graphics, certain things like that. Now you look at the games that we have and they're pretty crazy, but the newer games are optimized for those newer iPhones. So the main reason why it may feel like your iPhone 7 doesn't feel as fast as something like an iPhone 12, even though it was fast the day you bought it, it's mostly because these games and these apps are being optimized more so for these newer and the latest iPhones rather than the older ones. Now that's a separate thing from, Apple specifically slowing down phones. Now if your iPhone has under, I think it's like 80% battery health, Apple may reduce your specific, device in terms of a performance standpoint so your phone won't randomly shut down. Now, this is kind of a feature, but it's also kind of a limiting thing too, because it's an annoyance. You don't want your phone being slowed down or anything like that. But Apple actually ended up doing that a couple of years ago. They got caught. So another reason why your phone may seem slower than it really is because of the battery throttling that your iPhone has. So you're pretty much just going to have to disable it in the settings. But on top of that, another phenomenon that's really crazy is every time a new iPhone comes out, it seems like your current iPhone just glitches up and all that stuff. And the main reason why that happens is mostly because of the updates that Apple pushes out. It's no secret and it's not a coincidence that Apple pushes out a new version of iOS when a new iPhone comes out or around that same time. The main reason they do that is because they know when people update their iPhones, sometimes people have issues, but the first couple of versions of iOS of that specific year are probably not going to be that stable. iOS 14.0.1 and 14.1 are not going to be as stable as 14.8. or 14.7 whenever those things come out, 14.8. So those are big things to keep in mind, They know people are going to update their phone, they're going to have some issues here and there, and they're just going to want to buy a new iPhone, and they're going to blame the iPhone more than the software. So I've seen this time and time again. I've seen a lot of memes like this too, and that's really pretty much why these iPhones slow down for the most part, is because sometimes it's thermal throttle, sometimes it's battery throttling, sometimes it's software, and sometimes it's app developers utilizing more hardware, the capability that they have on the new iPhones, and that kind of makes the older iPhones seem a little slower too. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.